Now, many students at the Great Neck High School in New York, Long Island, are saying to have had other students do the SAT exam for them. And enter Mr. Samuel Eshaghoff, a 19-year-old sophomore at Emory University. They arrested him for being paid to write the exams to these students. Now, this young man seemed to be, receiving probably 2,500, some from some of the students up to. And this means that the parents have to be involved in this because most students can't, afford to pay no 2,005 for an exam. So the parents are a part of it. And this guy is doing exceptionally well because he's scoring with up to the 97th percentile. He's missing the complete marks of 2,400, sometimes by just close to 200. And in my view, this is symptomatic of the type of students that this standardized test and the education is producing. Because criminals are usually people who have a fictitious mind. They're not really smart. No, he seems brilliant here in the way he does this SAT exam. And maybe he's doing well in college too, but in the real world, he's a dunce. And same thing to do on Wall Street. You have these guys from big schools, but they go out there and they do these trivial stuff to make assets that are just fiat. There's no real substance, so that when you invest your money, you go to collect. There's nothing. It's just in word or just on paper. It's not anything of value. You buy in debt or something like that, like the subprime loans and all this kind of stuff. You lose your money because they think they're smart. If this guy was really smart, he would realize that, and he does it for several people. I'm not sure how he could do that in one sitting, whether you do it at your own time and so forth. I didn't write the SAT. I wrote GED from the Caribbean, and so what they did is they compare, these scores that are high up, and they discovered it's the same handwriting. So they advised the schools that this looked like something, an anomaly here, and how does he get identification to show that he's this person? Does he have an ID with that person's name in it? When I did the LSAT, they take your fingerprint also, and so for him to have school identification and state identification that reflect these various names, that's a heavy scheme. But then again, it just goes to show that this guy is not smart, because how do you get different identification for the state and different people's names? It's so complicated, or should I say complicated, or so stupid. The best thing to be is to be honest. Yes, he might make maybe 10 or 15,000, but now his academic thing, because he's going to be charged with plagiarism above all the crimes and whatever, and then his academic thing is going to have some problems. Maybe they're going to throw him out of Emory University or whatever. So the whole question is that the LSAT, this SAT, scholastic aptitude test, is it really showing anything? We from the British Empire, we had a foreign country marking our papers. I think now they do it in the Caribbean, but the papers are sent somewhere, and it's different. It's not no standardized things. You have to write your math, you have to write your compositions, and you have to do your grammar or whatever. And people that don't know you and just numbers. I know there's still scope for fraud in that, because I'm not getting into that, but everything there's scope for fraud. But it still does show something, because number one, not every student goes to write that exam. You have to be able to progress to that level, and then you have to show that you have the abilities to come to that standard. The rest of the teachers are not going to allow you to write it. So there it goes. And if you can't get a high school diploma, you got to go in the factory or whatever. High school, not a diploma, but having 5 subjects is the standard. You could work in civil service and other places, and then when you go and you do higher 2 more years and you get some 4 A's in the advanced level, you go to University, Oxford, London, Cambridge, University, West Indies. You go in there with 2 to 4. When you get 4 with A's, you're going to be expect to come back with honors from London, Oxford, or Cambridge. And so this young man here, this thing is a tragedy because I'm not sure how it's going to affect the sort of scholarship and the future of these young people. But it's so silly, man. Why would you ever try something like that? Maybe there's a scope that you could get away with it, but um, I mean, he does well. I mean, coming into 97 percentile, he should be smarter than that. Um, they discovered also that 99% of the rejected ones are usually faulted for copying. Several people in one row has the same answers, I guess, to some written response and so forth. So, Mr. Eshaghoff, I think that this guy is not as brilliant as he thinks he is. And of course, it's good thing that he's caught in this low level thing because he might have gotten a degree going on to Harvard, get into Wall Street and start scams up there, and then you can go to jail like this swindler, Bernie Madoff, whatever. This is how it starts with these little petty tricks. I remember when I was at college in Florida, though, there was this lady who wanted me to help her do her master's, but I can't do that of myself. I can't help somebody who doesn't have the ability to achieve something that they really, I don't have I mean, that's going to be my problem for the rest of my life because I would say that this person, they know nothing. I wrote all these papers, come with all these issues, and then he gets a master's or a doctorate. Or how this person will be able to function, and that should be something that's going to weigh on my conscience now. Of course, I mean, if the person's doing okay, and then in one course he has a problem, and I could coach him and help him along, even suggest some issues and give him an outline or whatever, that's cool. I think maybe the people who are charging with plagiarism right there, but to completely write every paper and all the assignments, I don't care how much he's paying. I'm not going to get involved in that. Not that it's only going to be caught down the road, but my responsibility to society is that I need to ensure that people who say they have a master's do have the skills so that when they're employed, they will run the businesses that employ them to the ground.